everybody, I am so glad that you are here for our last Facts About video for Black History Month. Now I'm having some technical difficulties because there's some construction going on outside of my building, so I have to use my microphone. Shout out to my sister for the microphone. So ignore the muff. Anyway, we are getting into our last person for Black History Month this month. Now, this person is still alive and well, and I chose them because they are a part of one thing that I newly found to be amazing, and then one thing that I've always known to be amazing. So, today we are talking about Andre DeShields. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Yeah. Andre DeShields is an actor, choreographer, director, and singer. He was born on January 12th, 1946 in Dundalk, Maryland to Mary Gunther and John DeShields. He was the ninth of 11 children. In 1964, DeShields would graduate from high school from Baltimore City College, and he would pursue higher education at Wilmington College, where he would star in A Raisin in the Sun, a play written by a Black queer woman by the name of Lorraine Hansberry. He would then go on to receive his BA in American Literature from Wisconsin University, and he would then go on to receive his MA in African American Studies in 1991 from the Gallatin School of Individualized Studies of New York University, where he is still an adjunct professor today. Andre DeShields made his Broadway debut in 1973 in the sci-fi musical called Warp, starring as Desi Arnaz. He would then go on to choreograph for theater powerhouse Bette Midler. Now, remember earlier I told you there were two things that I wanted to talk about in regards to Andre DeShields. Well, the first thing is that he is a part of the original cast of one of my favorite movies slash plays, The Wiz. He played the title character of The Wiz. And baby, everything. One of the things that I loved most about researching Andre DeShields, in an interview he did with Playbill, he talks about his audition for The Wiz and how he was still being discriminated against, even in theater where there is a high volume of queer people, specifically queer men. And the director wasn't seeing it for him because he's just like, the girl has too much sugar in her tank. And he had auditioned for the other three leads of the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow and did not get them. And he says that he showed up to his audition for The Wiz in a halter top, hot pants, and a silver platform shoes. And he sang In the Midnight Hour by Wilson Pickett, and just so happens that Charlie Smalls, the composer of The Wiz, happens to be in the audience during his audition. And after his audition, Charlie Smalls said, "That's my Wiz." And so it's just like, dang, it's really crazy how even as queer people in a space that is not necessarily exclusively queer, but is very queer in culture and just by nature of the job. And people still looking at you like, I don't think she can do it. I don't think she got it in her to play this role. And Andre DeShields even goes on to talk about how he made the character of the Wiz not this crotchety old evil man, but more of this unaware man of what he was doing and, desperate, to find something to love and be loved by. And also, kind of upbeat and kind of jazzy because The Wiz is a African American jazz retelling of The Wizard of Oz. Andre DeShields has a successful career in Broadway that spans 5 decades. He's even almost an EGOT winner. He's missing that Oscar Academy Award situation. But He won an Emmy for his performance in Ain't Misbehaving. He's also performed with Stardust, and he's also been a part of the original cast for a few different plays, like Play On and The Full Monty. He won his Tony and a Grammy for his performance in Hadestown, where he plays the character of Hermes. Now, Hadestown is a retelling of the Greek tragedy of Eurydice and Orpheus. It is a story about a young girl that falls in love with a boy in a way to escape poverty. It's about having faith in one another, not taking granted of those who you love, and of course, tossing a little bit of Western imperialism and capitalism in there because the theater does what our government does not and brings real life to art. Yes. And you get some Hades in there, you get some Persephone in there, and you get the character who narrates the majority of this story, Hermes. I was recently able to go see Hadestown. Unfortunately, Andre DeShields was not playing Hermes. He has not played Hermes in Hadestown since I think 2022. But it was still good, all of the same. I have my playbill here. It was such a good play. I enjoyed myself. It was my first time seeing a musical on Broadway. I've seen musicals before, but they were off Broadway. But it was such a good time, and I enjoyed it so much. I also wanted to talk about Andre DeShields just because we don't talk about Black queer men during Black History Month enough. We talk about Black queer women. We just leave out the queer part. But they do get their just due in a lot of ways during this time of year. And so I wanted to talk about him for that reason. Also because his story is a lot of Black queer people's story. Or just Black people's story in general. We don't get our just due. We don't get our flowers until it's way past its due date, and we don't even see it coming. But we over appreciative at this point. Kind of like with Shirley Ralph. Like, girl, why Shirley Ralph just getting that Emmy? Like, why is Andre DeShields just getting a Grammy and a Tony in 2019? That's insane. But we see you. We appreciate you. We love you. And I'm sure you do this not just because you want to be recognized, but because you love what you do. And that is the joy in all of that, is because you get to love what you do and people see you be good at it. So I love that and I appreciate that as someone that is in a creative space and does creative things. And it's a lot of times just about loving the job, and everything else just falls in line. As I said earlier, Andre DeShields is still alive and he is still gracing stages and screens. He can recently be seen in the show Uncoupled. It's a comedy with Neil Patrick Harris and Tashina Arnold. They are hilarious, by the way, together. Who would have known that I would have needed to see those two together? But Andre DeShields plays a character named Jack. Now, Uncoupled used to be on Netflix, but I think it's on Paramount Plus right now. So go check that out, girl. It's a good little show. But yeah. So I hope that you all enjoyed this last week of Facts About for me for Black History Month. I may come back with some Women's History Month videos, so stay tuned for that. Don't hold me to it. Put a pin in it. We'll talk about it later. But I thank you guys so much for watching, because at the end of all of my videos, like I say, you could have been anywhere else on the internet, but you decided to be here with me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.